on the phone right now, we have Andey Samhain. Is that Andey Samhain? Is that correct? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, that is correct. Hello, my angels.
Andey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I kind of got the sick that's going around, but nevertheless, we persist.
Oh, yeah.
Cold, man. The cold.
Everyone's been getting that. But we heard your song, Dark Angel, earlier on the radio. Congratulations on getting on the radio, by the way.
Thank you.
So, tell us more about yourself. Tell us more about your music.
Yeah, well, I'm very theatrical with it. I know you read what I had written. I've been listening.
Yep.
Yeah, I am from a tiny little town called Saratoga Springs, Utah, originally. It was founded in 2002. I grew up very Mormon. So, a lot of religious drama there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And
I can actually I can actually see how that can really, how that can reflect in the music and reflect in your description of yourself, especially like the way you describe yourself. I can see how like religious trauma can attribute that,
Right, yeah. Artistically, I mean, I've always been a writer. I've always been a poet. It's always been one of my favorite things to do is to just process and get my feelings out through writing. I wrote everything, creatively, essays. When I was like a teenager, maybe I shouldn't say this considering you guys are on a college campus.
Go ahead.
My mom, she went back to school and she got like really overwhelmed with like her homework. And so she would ask me to like help her with her essays and stuff. And so I would be the one doing the research and doing the writing. And of course, she would always get top marks. And so some of her friends would also, I had like a little business of people coming to me and being like, hey, will you help me write this essay? And I'd be like, you know what? Why not? They'd give me like $100, I'd get their A. It was whatever, I have started songwriting the way that I have. I started like probably 2016. I had a very brief run under a different stage name. I was called Veni Amavi back then. Yes, which means I came, I loved. I was very much on. Huh?
I love that. I love that name.
Yeah, I took it from like Veni Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. Because there's also like Veni Vidi Amavi, which is like I came, I saw, I loved. I made like sad girl ukulele music. I wanted to be Dodie Clark so bad. I wanted to be Dodie Clark.
That's awesome.
And Ingrid Michaelson and like Sarah Bareilles so bad. And that did not go very well. I played one show as Veni Amavi. The crowd was crazy disrespectful, and like I get it, it was coffee shop vibes. They talked through my entire set.
Hey.
It was like yeah.
So let me ask,
ask,
where was this show, if you don't mind me asking?
This show was in Pleasant Grove, Utah, at Pleasant Grove High School. They have a radio station there called KPGR, which shaped a lot of my music taste as a teenager. And it was like the ultimate for me to go and play what they call Pigpen. They have it there once a month. And I got in because I'm annoyingly persistent. And
we appreciate that here, honestly.
Networking.
Thank you. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I can't stand it. And then there's people like you where it's like, you know what? I respect the hustle.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. That's all it's about.
Somebody
the
had to
hustle,
like come and be like, hey, you guys are being so disrespectful right now. Like, stop talking.
We've dealt with shows like that before where like,
numerous.
Oh my God, the numbers. There's always
all
shows
types
like
of
that.
something going on. If it ain't a good spot, a venue, venues be crazy.
Yeah. But I didn't play a show after that for a very long time. That was 2017 in like January.
Sounds
so that
about
was,
right.
Like,
Sounds about around the time.
And then I didn't play a show again until actually May of this year.
Wow.
Because I just really focused on like writing.
Well, welcome
and, like,
back in it.
My craft for like all that time.
Yeah, welcome back in it.
For real.
Thank you. Stylistically, I have gone through quite the evolution.
Obstacles come and go.
I'm the youngest
Glad you
of my
overcame
family.
it.
And so my older sister was very influential in my taste of music growing up. When she got a taste of music, because she was always on like MySpace and like the early days of Facebook, and she wanted to be teen queen, and I thought she was the coolest person ever. So I wanted to be just like her.
No bull.
And so I would like sit next to her and like watch her scroll through MySpace and find like Paramore.
The testimony.
And, like,
I love it. I love it.
Like Bring Me the Horizon and like My Chemical Romance and like Pierce the Veil. And
that makes a lot of sense. My brother did the same thing to me. I was like 5 or 6 years old when my brother introduced me to the Beastie Boys, and I'm like, oh, well, now he's like, all right, well, I guess he likes rap now forever. So like that was very influential. It's crazy how siblings can do that.
I mean, they're your first friends, your first introduction.
Yeah, like, that makes sense.
So it makes sense. And like I love my siblings. I love them so much.
Oh yeah.
So, and like Evanescence was also huge between the two of us.
Big back then. I love it. I love it.
Everyone in here is nodding their heads like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love Amy Lee.
Now those were the days, man. That's what I was talking about.
Courtney and Poppy. Oh my God. Phenomenal. I'm so excited for that tour. You have no idea. But that was like my introduction to like alternative, like just the music and also like alternative subcultures. My sister wanted to be a scene queen really bad, and so I wanted to be a scene queen really bad. But restrictive religious household, we weren't able to. So the most we could do was have a very aggressive side part and call it a day. I really loved that music a lot. I did go through a period of time in my teenage years where I like discovered like Dr. Dog and Mac DeMarco, and like that's also when I really, really got into Gorillaz. Damon Albarn is my ultimate ever. And if you like go and like look at my lyricism, and you know that, you can go and like spot the influence.
Yep, I see
Albarn
that.
Influence.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I love it. That lasted up until I was about 20.
Okay.
And then I tried to make pop music. I had a single out called Cigarette, which did very well, actually, because I was popping on TikTok at the time. That time passed. It did not go very long. But
that's the thing with pop music. Sometimes, like, if you're like really like, sometimes you're like do it and you're like really into it and you're like, yes, this is what I want to do, and then you like do one pop song and you're like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I completely get that, how it is.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I still do make pop music, but it's for like this hush hush side project, which once I release my first album, then we'll delve into that. But up until then, you're just gonna have to wonder, like the chest in Five Nights at Freddy's, what on earth could be in there? So at the end of 2020, I love Emily Autumn. That is Mother. I've been listening to Emily Autumn since I was 12 years old. A family friend, her name was Kat, she introduced me to her, the album Opheliac. And it was literally like, what is this sweet melody? My brain chemistry is being changed literally as we speak. And I started listening to her like nonstop. And just something clicked in my brain where it's like, this is the kind of music you should be making. And also, you need to go back to your roots, because I'm a very big believer that your 20s are a mirror of, who you wanted to be before the world shamed you out of it. Usually that kind of happens around ages like 11 to 14. Your 20s are for going back to who you kind of truly are. That's my belief.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Who I truly am is just this like little vampire freak.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Everybody in this room loves that so much. We absolutely vibe with this.
Oh, 100%.
We come from small towns in Rhode Island as well, so
yeah,
that's it.
So you have a new single dropping, Tempest, on February 28th?
Well, yes, I do.
Anything else? Any other plans? Tell us about that song, and tell us if you have anything else. You mentioned an album. Do you know when that would be dropping at all? Fair enough. We're just going off. We'll just figuring it out.
So the album is called Tuska, and Tuska is a Russian word that does not have a direct English translation. Now, I read a lot of Tolstoy. I read a lot of Dostoevsky. I love classical Russian literature. I've been obsessed with it since I was in my early teens. My father's best friend growing up was from Moscow, and so he was very influential in my life and got me into all that stuff. It is a word that kind of is this like deep, infinite sadness and loneliness, but also loathing, which is pretty good to represent where I was at in my life when I wrote all of the songs in this album. Tempest is the oldest song on the album. I wrote it. I moved to Massachusetts in October 2022. I released Tempest, or not released Tempest, I wrote Tempest, LOL, in December of 2022. And I was going through this period of time where I was just like chronically empty, because I struggle a lot with chronic emptiness. I've got some diagnoses. I'm not right in the head, but that's fine. All of the baddest baddies are not right in the head.
Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that.
Yeah. So I was also in like this weird writing dry spell where I was like, okay, I need to write, but I don't feel totally inclined to actually write anything. So let me use the trick of let me just write just how I feel, literally the first thing that comes into my head. And so I just wrote down the opening line to the song, and I've performed the song live lots of times. There's like lots of footage of me performing this song, so it's not like a total secret, you know. I probably should take it down and like scrub it, but the polished track is gonna be a treat. I'm so excited for you guys. But the opening
Can't
line
wait
to the
to hear
song
it.
is I'm so excited. I'm sending it to you as soon as we have it mixed and mastered.
Perfect.
But there's an emptiness I feel, such a stagnancy. And then I was like, all right, I can work with this. And then the finishing part of the line is a desperation to be healed. Ooh. And I was like, all right, I can work with this. And as I mentioned in my little bio, I love William Shakespeare. I went to acting school for acting as a teenager. And I did musical theater. But also in Utah, there is this thing called the Shakespeare Festival, which is like a big deal. But like, you know, I'm from there, so it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. And they have like a competition for the schools, and like you go every year, and it just instilled this very deep love of Shakespeare in me. And The Tempest is one of my favorite pieces.
Ooh.
And there is a quote in The Tempest, which basically I built the rest of the song off of. And it's a very famous quote. It's my favorite Shakespeare quote, which is, "Hell is empty and all of the devils are here."
Okay.
Yes.
I see the vision. I like it.
Yes.
I like it. So just a matter of time of, you know, just finishing everything and then figuring out when it comes out?
Yes, so the date is set. It comes out February 28th at midnight. But
Ooh,
I'm also,
perfect.
my roommate and I, and maybe I'm announcing this too soon, we are throwing a joint event. It's our first joint event. It's my first event that I'm helping throw. The first half of the night is under my jurisdiction. And we're going to have live music. We're going to have DJs. That's all kind of in the same vein of the music that I make.
Okay.
And it is the single release party for Tempest. Now, the location is the